The movie follows a mentally ill boy who, due to his madness, keeps a girl imprisoned in a basement for months. At the beginning, we see a girl named Mira jogging in the evening. Her house is far from the city. She and her husband, Henry, built this house in a beautiful valley to escape their hectic lives. They are a happy couple, but it wasn't always like this. Mira had a tough past few years battling breast cancer. While taking a shower, she checks for any lumps, but she is now completely cured, thanks to Henry, who stood by her during difficult times. That evening, they plan to have dinner together, leaving their phones at home to talk without interruptions. They've been together for 12 years and have never had a fight. After dinner, they return home and notice shoe marks on the floor and things scattered around, as if someone had broken in. They call the police. The next morning, Detective Morse arrives to investigate the break-in. 2 phones and a laptop were stolen. He asks Henry when they moved to Corals. Henry explains they started preparing a year ago but officially shifted in 2 months ago. When asked if they had any enemies, Henry denies having one who would break into their house and vandalize it. It seems like an act of personal enmity rather than theft. The police have found some evidence and will investigate further. Meanwhile, Mira goes to work, and Henry cleans the house since they're planning a party soon. That night, while they sleep, someone breaks in again. Mira wakes up to find the power out, even though they have a generator. She wakes Henry, thinking the outage is due to rain, but when Henry checks, he finds the generator's connection deliberately cut. Before he can react, intruders tie up Mira and start searching the house. Henry, hiding, retrieves a pistol from a flower pot, shocking Mira, who never knew he had a gun. One of the intruders spots Henry and attacks, but he manages to escape, grab Mira, and lock themselves in a bedroom. Henry hands Mira the car keys and helps her escape from the balcony. Meanwhile, the intruders break the door and capture Henry. As Mira reaches the car, she hears 2 gunshots. Henry had shot one of the intruders in front of her, leaving her in shock. She struggles to understand how he could remain so calm after killing 3 people and wonders why he had hidden a gun from her. Just then, Detective Morse arrives with a colleague and informs them that the intruders were criminals from Eagle Point, a poor area on the other side of town. They had prior drug-related cases. 2 of them were killed, while the 3rd was in critical condition at St. Mary's Hospital. Morse also reveals that a girl named Christine Cobb has been missing for a month, and the police suspect these criminals were involved. If the 3rd intruder dies, Christine's case might remain unsolved. Mira feels sorry for Christine's family, but then Morse drops a bombshell. Christine was related to the intruders, and the police suspect her family might be involved in her disappearance. Later, Henry prepares for the party and goes out to buy supplies but forgets his wallet at home. When Mira tries calling him, his phone is switched off. Feeling uneasy about being alone, she decides to drive out, using the excuse of returning his wallet. Following Henry's car, she notices him taking a left turn towards St. Mary's Hospital instead of the town. While watching him, she nearly gets into an accident. Hours later, when she returns home, Henry is already back. Mira asks why he went to the hospital. Henry claims he took the wrong route but still reached the store before closing and got the supplies. When she points out he forgot his wallet, he says the shopkeeper agreed to take the money next Sunday. The next day, while leaving the office, Mira runs into Detective Morse, who informs her that the 3rd intruder in St. Mary's ICU suddenly died last night, even though his condition had been improving. Mira is alarmed. Henry had gone to the same hospital that night. Was he responsible for the death? Suspicious, she tracks Henry's car location and finds out he had been to Eagle Point, the same place where the 3 intruders had come from. Using a location tracker, Mira quickly reached Eagle Point and carefully made her way to the Cobb family's house, avoiding attention. Since she knew the names of the 3 intruders, she found the house easily. Their car was parked outside, and inside, she found a key. Thinking it was for the main door, she tried it, but the door was unlocked. Once inside, Mira searched the house and eventually found an empty envelope that Henry had sent to Cobb. As she was about to leave, she noticed the mail distribution office just a few steps away. She decided to check it before heading back. The key from the car turned out to be for a mailbox there. Inside, she found a package that Dylan Cobb had intended to send to the Corals police. Inside the package, she discovered a video camera. Just then, a man approached. Mistaking Mira for a reporter, he assumed she was filming him. In a panic, he grabbed the camera and smashed it. As evening fell, Mira left Eagle Point, while Henry was also on his way home. They both used a tracking app to share their locations. Before Henry arrived, Mira connected the damaged camera to the TV. The video showed Dylan Cobb saying, "He had his eyes on my daughter, Christine. I've been falsely accused. Please believe me." The police had suspected Dylan of being involved in Christine's disappearance, but in the video, he was trying to defend himself. Suddenly, the video cut out due to damage. Determined to recover the footage, Mira contacted the camera company. She was eager to find out whether Dylan had been referring to Henry. As she waited, she decided to search Henry's office. She got so caught up in it that she forgot about Henry returning home. While searching, she found a pen drive in the desk. It contained pictures of their house under construction. Among them was a photo of Dylan Cobb working there. Before she could process everything, Henry arrived. Noticing the office lights on, he suspected someone had broken in. He was surprised to find Mira inside, who quickly lied, saying she was just cleaning. At that moment, Mira's phone rang. She had left it, along with Dylan Cobb's mail envelope, in the office. She quickly hid the envelope, but Henry noticed the tracking app was open, revealing that she had been tracking him. He now knew she had gone to Eagle Point. She nervously explained that she was just exploring, but Henry admitted he had been tracking her too because he was worried about her being in that area. That night, after Henry fell asleep, Mira plugged in the pen drive. Among the photos, she saw one of Dylan Cobb's missing daughter, Christine. Just then, she heard noises but ignored them, lost in thought. Dylan had built their house. Then his daughter went missing. Later, he and his men broke into their home. Henry killed them in self-defense. Was this all a coincidence? Unable to make sense of it, Mira decided to take the pen drive to the Corals police station in the morning. But she hesitated. This could destroy her relationship with Henry. So, she turned back. Still, she needed answers. As soon as she returned, she confronted Henry. "Why do you have a picture of Dylan Cobb and his missing daughter in your pen drive?" Henry explained that he had hired Dylan Cobb to build their house because he was cheap labor. But later, he realized Dylan was unreliable and had drug problems. One day, Dylan's daughter came to the site, and out of nowhere, Dylan started beating her. Seeing this, Henry fired him on the spot and refused to pay him. As a result, not only was Dylan angry, but his workers also didn't receive their wages. Henry assumed that's why Dylan vandalized their home. The first time, they weren't home. The next day, he and his men returned, and that's when Henry shot them. Hearing this, Mira forgave him, feeling relieved. With her suspicions gone, she focused on her work again. That evening, while returning from the office, she received a package, the repaired camera. Since she no longer doubted Henry, she tried giving it to a colleague, but he refused, so she took it home. That night, their house was filled with guests for the party. While preparing, Mira saw the news. The police had suspected someone in Christine's disappearance, but he was proven innocent. The report also mentioned that Dylan's dog had been killed. Mira's gut told her something was wrong again. She immediately grabbed the camera, sneaked out to her car, and played the video. In the footage, Dylan explained that Henry had his eyes on Christine. While working on the house, Dylan often brought Christine along with food. One day, she vanished. Dylan suspected Henry, but had no proof. One night, when no one was home, Dylan went back with his dog, hoping the dog would track Christine's scent. The dog started barking in Henry's office. Dylan believed there was more evidence hidden in the house. Mira froze. Without watching further, she rushed back to Henry's office. As she searched frantically, Henry realized someone was inside. But before he could reach her, Mira discovered something shocking: a map of their house. And hidden within it was a secret room. While searching, Mira discovered a hidden button behind a dummy plate. Pressing it opened a secret door leading to a staircase that descended into the basement. As she went down, she was horrified to find Christine Cobb imprisoned there, unconscious. Moments later, Christine regained consciousness and screamed so loudly that even Mira got startled. Mira quickly silenced her, trying to calm her down so she could call for help. Just then, Henry arrived. Realizing his secret was exposed, he locked Mira in the basement as well. He told her that she had no choice but to support him now. It turned out Henry was mentally ill. He had deliberately built their house in a secluded area to fulfill his twisted desires. Mira begged him to let them go, but he refused. He left Christine imprisoned and walked away. Upstairs, he stopped the party, pretending to have slipped in the bathroom. Christine, despite being locked up for months, could never understand Henry's behavior. Every day, he would sit in front of her, staring, and say the same words, "I'll tell you tomorrow." But that tomorrow never came. He was completely deranged. Meanwhile, Henry was enjoying music upstairs, unaware that Mira had managed to free herself. She quickly untied Christine as well. They waited for Henry to return. When he finally entered the basement, they seized their chance. As he stepped inside, they slammed the door on his hand, trapping him. Henry was shocked. He couldn't believe Mira had betrayed him after everything he had done for her, especially during her battle with cancer. Henry quickly found Christine and grabbed her. When Mira tried to stop him, he attacked her, knocking her unconscious. Christine, terrified, ran away screaming, but Henry caught her and dragged her back by her hair, tying her up again. Then, suddenly, Mira struck him from behind, hitting him hard on the head. As he lay dying, he weakly asked her, "Can you take care of yourself without me?" Mira looked him in the eyes and replied, "Yes, I can." She left Henry in the basement and took Christine with her. In the final scene, Mira is shown selling the house and leaving for India. It is revealed that she originally came to the country to study and met Henry in college, where they fell in love. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.